9 years ago, a post was made on the subreddit r/osu game, signifying Osu becoming mainstream. In a screenshot showing that the Osu category is having about 23,000 concurrent viewers, which compared today is quite bittersweet because unless MREC or BTMC is streaming, we can barely reach a number that's over at 2,000 or even 1,000 at times. This means that Osu has failed to maintain its mainstream status if it ever was mainstream. Further investigation, aka a quick Google search, at the time reveals that a large contribution to Osu's popularity during this time period was due to Cookie Z, now known as Shigetora, returning to Osu as he streamed himself playing Osu on Twitch. So what happened between 9 years ago and present day that caused Osu to basically fall off as a mainstream rhythm game? An obvious answer would be due to players quitting the game. As the game grows older, so do players. See, there's this thing called moving on once you've grown tired of something, and that's what people do. After achieving fame, recognition, or maybe satisfaction that the game could have brought them, they simply quit and move on with new, different endeavors in their life. Another reason is also due to Twitch's departure from South Korea, in which many of the top players and the most popular players in the community resided. Therefore, they're unable to stream, as Twitch remains a streaming giant that overshadows other streaming platforms when you think of the word streaming. Not to be confused with Kick, where the main concept is public harassment and nudity. Well, on that thought, Twitch also does the same thing. Cookie Z is undoubtedly Osu's main backbone when it comes to peak popularity, as during his returning stream alone, he peaked at around 14,000 viewers, just spamming ayaya as he plays a Genshin map. The next content creator in line that supports Osu's popularity would be BTMC, a Genshin streamer. But just because some guy on the internet streams a game to thousands of people doesn't mean that it's mainstream. As now in 2024, people just think of Osu as some ripoff of Friday Night Funkin', Rollbeats, Project Sekai, and Taiko no Tatsujin. Yeah, you get the point. Even Fortnite is a bigger rhythm game than Osu, and that's not even the main game mode. Fortnite is Fortnite. See, with other rhythm games, they usually stick to one gimmick, the most popular one being VSRG, vertical scrolling rhythm games. However, with Osu, it has 3 other game modes, besides from its main game mode being an aim trainer, right? There's Taiko, which copies Taiko no Tatsujin, Mania, which copies piano tiles, and Catch the Beat, which is not exactly a rhythm game mode. Alright, sure, Osu just ripped off of other rhythm games, so how come not a lot of people know about it? One reason is due to accessibility. Osu is a game that is beloved by its community, yet one that remains firmly niche in the world of mainstream gaming. But why? It's free, it doesn't require fancy equipment. Hell, even this guy plays the game with his feet. So why is Osu so irrelevant? It's because it's hard to understand how the game works from the perspective of someone who has no clue what Osu is. See, if you see games like Friday Night Funkin', you can immediately recognize that, oh, this is just like piano tiles. I play piano tiles. Even my grandma's play piano tiles. It's very easy to grasp its concept and how to play. Like, you can see a pro FNF player play a really hard chart, and you can immediately understand how the game works because it's built off of already established concepts like piano tiles, VSRG. When any game builds itself on an already popular concept, it's pretty easy to become mainstream. Osu Standard, the main game mode, struggles with communicating how it works. You see circles, and then another circle closing in. Okay, you can guess that it's the timing window if you're familiar with how rhythm game works. But like, what do you do with it? And then there's this long worm thing that extend from the circle. Like, what am I supposed to do with it? All of these confusions can easily be fixed if people just play the tutorial, but no one bothers to, because unless it's spoon-fed to them, they're not gonna bother seeking out how to play the game. Even though one of the main contributors to Osu made a really simple and intuitive tutorial on how to play the game. Bishop. For example, let's use Smash. You can see 2 characters and a platform. That's it. The game communicates how it works using primal fear. Fallen. If the character you control falls off the platform, you die. and then you lose. So what do? And also Smash opens with a cinematic telling you how to play the game, something that is missing in Osu. With Osu, you're immediately presented with the main menu, consists of solo, multi, editor, option, and quit game. First impressions are really important for someone that's completely new. Being shown all that can be a bit overwhelming, especially for a rhythm game. And like mainstream games that ease player in with like storytelling or intuitive mechanics, Osu just gives you the maps. And that's it. And throws shit at you like hit circles, sliders, spinners, stream, blah blah blah. For someone that's completely new, it's a lot to process. Most mainstream games are built around simple and reliable concepts. Shoot the bad guy, drive fast to win, build a fort, knight. Osu's different. At its core, it's a rhythm game, but it lacks the tangible concept of being a rhythm game. In Osu, you're clicking circles to the beat, and to a new players, it doesn't instantly connect to anything that's familiar to them, because Osu is a unique game. As a concept, there is no pre-existing games like Osu. And then there's a skill gap. Watching professional Osu players is both mesmerizing and intimidating. Most people start on normal difficulty, and usually it's comprehensive to an extent. There's rhythm and a fair amount of object density for players to learn and not get confused by. And then some guy in the Osu chat tell them to play the big black, and then they're presented with this, like, what is this? Explaining Osu isn't really easy either. Like, how do you describe a game where you click circles to the music and then not end up just saying, oh, it's like an aim trainer? It lacks narrative, relatable characters, or a traditional progressing system. Osu does have a leveling system, but it doesn't do anything besides from showing how much time you've spent playing the game, aka how much of a loser you are. And all of that combined makes it harder to hook the general audience. Oh, the game even has a mascot, Pippi, but she's really useless aside from being used as the subject for art contests and the Osu World Cup. Yeah, we got that far. We have an Osu World Cup. But despite that, Osu still fails at being mainstream, technically being a level of an esport. Not like major League of Legends esport, but like, you know, Smash. Whenever there's an OWC or a high-profile Osu tourney, it can pull in numbers that rivals Smash tourneys. And Smash is an esport. Unlike traditional sports or mainstream esports like League or CSGO, the gameplay isn't really spectator-friendly. It requires the knowledge of knowing how the game works. If you're just someone that dragged along by your friend to like watch this OWC thing, you're not gonna understand what's going on the screen. You're most likely to get confused, like, oh, what the hell is going on? And why are the commentators going crazy over this? There's actually a player that made a forum post about why Osu is a niche game. And in their conclusion, it's because Osu caters too much to the people that are already familiar with the game and how it works. And that's really sweet on Osu's part, making sure that our experience as players are further and further being improved as time goes on. But it doesn't help the general audience that have no idea what Osu is, or people that might be interested in Osu because they have no idea what the hell is going on. That's why Osu will not move outside of its niche area, and I don't think it needs to.